Good morning, students. This is next chapter in chemistry, that is states of matter. We know matter exists in three states, that is solids, liquids and gases. In this chapter we specially discuss gases. In liquids and solids we will discuss them in class 12. Before going to discuss about them, we just discuss introduction of solids, liquids and gases. Shape or volume. Solids have definite shape and definite volume because of their arrangement. But in case of liquids, they have indefinite shape and definite volume. These are nothing but properties. In case of gases, both the shape and volume are indefinite. In case of solids, both are having definite. In case of liquids, shape is indefinite but volume is definite. But in case of gases, both are indefinite. That is about shape or volume of solids, liquids and gases. Next, compressibility. Compressibility means to reduce the size of the substance. That is called compressibility. To reduce the size. In case of solids, its compressibility is very less, because they have, in solids, particles are closely packed. So there is no chance of compressibility of solids. But in case of liquids, its compressibility is moderate. That means we cannot compress high, so that means we can compress them in somehow manner. Next, in case of gases, its compressibility is very high, because in gases particles are loosely packed. Loosely packed means between the particles gap is somehow more. We can reduce the gap between the particles of gases by applying some pressure. Automatically the distance between the gases particles decreases. All the particles can come close to each other. Automatically its compressibility will be more. So compressibility is less in case of solids, it is moderate in case of liquids, and it is very high in case of gases. That is about compressibility. Next, melting point and boiling point. In case of solids, both melting point and boiling point are very high and they are more than room temperature. But in case of liquids, melting point is less than room temperature, but boiling point is more than room temperature. But in case of gases, both melting point and boiling point both are less than room temperature. In this case, both are more than room temperature. In this case, melting point is less than room temperature, but boiling point is more than room temperature. But in case of gases, both are less than room temperature. Next, arrangement. Arrangement. Solids are closely packed, liquids are loosely packed, and gases are freely packed. Next, intermolecular forces. These are closely packed, so that they have very strong intermolecular forces. So intermolecular forces are very high. These are loosely packed. That means they have attractions, but those attractions are very less compared to solids and more compared to gases. These are loosely packed, that means they have weak attractions, so that intermolecular forces are very less in case of gases. That is about introduction of solids, liquids and gases. In this chapter we will discuss gases only. For that, first we have to discuss measurable properties of gases. Measurable properties, nothing but characteristics of gases. Measurable properties of gases. First property is mass. That means gases have some mass. Masses units are what? Milligrams, grams, kilograms. 1 kg equal to 10 power 3 grams. 1 gram equal to 10 power 3 milligrams. So that 1 kg equal to 10 to the power of 6 milligrams. 1 gram equal to 10 to the power of 3 milligrams. 1 kg equal to 10 power 3 grams. From this 1 gram equal to how much? 10 power minus 3 kgs. 10 to the power of minus 3 kgs. These are conversions. These are units of mass. Next, volume. Volume definition is the space occupied by gas is called volume. The space occupied by gas is called volume. Units: liters, milliliters, cubic centimeters, meter cube. dm cube means decimeter cube. 1 liter is equal to 10 to the power of 3 milliliters. We know that. Or 10 to the power of 3 cubic centimeters. 1 dm cube, nothing but decimeter cube, is also equal to 1 liter. These are conversions. These are also important. 1 meter cube equal to 1000 liters. 1 meter cube equal to 1000 liters. So you have to remember these conversions along with units. Next, the volume of the gas is measured by eudiometer or gas burette. Eudiometer or gas, that is the instrument. By using that instrument we can identify volume of the gas. Next one, pressure. Pressure means what? Force per unit area is called pressure. Force per unit area is called pressure. For that, units are atmospheres, bars, tor, T-O-R, tor, pascals, dynes per centimeter square, not centimeter cube, dynes per centimeter square, Newton per meter square. These are the dimensions, are nothing but units of pressure. Here some conversions are there. This is also very important. 1 atmosphere is equal to 760 mm of Hg, millimeters of mercury. That is equal to 76 centimeter of mercury. That is equal to 760 torrs. That is equal to 1.013 bars. That means 1 atmosphere equal to 1.013 bar. That is also equal to 1.013 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per meter square. That also equal to 1.013 into 10 to the power of 5 pascals. That also equal to 1.013 into 10 to the power of 6, not 5 here, 10 to the power of 6 dynes per centimeter square. You have to remember all these conversions, because sometimes in numericals pressure may be given in atmospheres. We have to find that pressure. We have to convert that pressure into either atmosphere, either mm of Hg or torrs or bars or Newton meter square, whatever it may be. For that purpose, you have to remember all these conversions. These are very, very important, especially in case of competitive level. You have to remember. Next, that is temperature. Temperature definition is degree of hotness or coldness. Degree of hotness or coldness of a gas is called temperature. For that, units are degrees Celsius and kelvins. Degrees Celsius and Kelvin. Degrees Celsius is equal to 273 kelvins. For example, 1 degree Celsius is equal to 1 plus 273. That is 274 kelvins. 27 degrees Celsius is equal to 27 plus 273. That is equal to 300 kelvin. Suppose for 40 degrees centigrade is equal to 40 plus 273. So that is the way of converting degrees Celsius into kelvins. Temperature is measured by thermometer. Next, atmospheric pressure is measured by barometer. Atmospheric pressure, that means atmosphere contains so many gases. To measure that pressure, we need barometer. But the pressure of the gas is measured by manometer. Atmospheric pressure is measured by barometer and pressure of the gas is measured by manometer. So those are all about measurable properties, nothing but characteristics of gases. Gases have those properties. Next topic in this chapter is intermolecular forces. Intermolecular forces. There are 4 types of molecular forces. Among them, first one is ion dipole forces. In name itself, ion and dipole is present. Before going to discuss about this one, we have to know what is ion and what is dipole. What is ion? If any species exhibits either positive charge or negative charge, that is called ion. Either positive charge or negative charge. Then what about dipole? Dipole means in a compound, if 2 different atoms are present, not same atoms, then automatically it will be dipole. Why? Because if 2 different atoms are present, their En will be different. Then the atom which is having more En can attract electrons from other atom. Automatically that more En atom can acquire partial negative charge and other atom acquires partial positive charge. That if any molecule having that charges, which charges partial positive charge and negative charges, then that molecule is said to be what? Dipole. Now our target is what? We have to discuss about ion dipole forces. That means attractions between ion and dipole. So what is the definition? The attraction forces present between ions and dipole is called ion dipole forces. If I discuss an example, then you get clear idea. When NaCl is dissolved in water, then Na plus and Cl minus are formed. After forming Na plus and Cl minus ions, that water molecule surrounded by Na plus and Cl minus. Why? Because of ion dipole forces. Those water molecules surrounded by Na plus and Cl minus. I show here, when you get some idea. NaCl, when it is present in water, that means when NaCl put in water, then we get Na plus and Cl minus. After forming ions from NaCl, then these water molecules surrounded Na plus and Cl minus ions like this. Similarly, around Cl minus also water molecules are surrounded. Why? Because of attraction forces. Which attraction forces? Ion dipole attraction forces. Water is dipole. Why? Because in water oxygen is present. Oxygen is a central atom. Hydrogens are surrounding atoms. Compared to hydrogens, oxygen has more electronegativity. So that oxygen exhibits partial negative charge, hydrogen exhibits partial positive charge. So water is a dipole. Between that dipole and positive charge of the ion, attractions exhibited. Especially between negative charge of the dipole and positive charge of the ion. Negative charge of the dipole and positive charge of the ion. Attractions are developed. Because of those attractions, these water molecules are surrounded by Na plus ion. That attraction forces are called what? Ion dipole forces. Here also attraction forces are present, but here attraction forces between positive charge of the dipole, that is hydrogen, and negative charge of the ion. So these attractions are called what? Ion dipole forces. Next point. The positive ions Na plus is attracted by negative charge of the dipole, and negative ions is attracted by positive charge of the dipole. Here attraction forces is proportional to Z into mu by R, where Z is atomic number of ion, mu is dipole moment, and R is distance between ion and dipole, where R is distance between ion and dipole. So this is about ion dipole forces. Next one is dipole forces. That means between 2 dipoles. Here the definition is what? The attractions present between 2 polar molecules. Polar molecule means if different charges are present, that is polar molecule, just like dipole. If dipole is there, that is nothing but polar. For example, H2O, HF, NH3, all are polar molecules. If attractions exist between those two polar molecules, such attractions are called what? Dipole forces. See, HF. This is one HF molecule, this is another HF molecule. In this HF molecule, fluorine exhibit negative charge. In this HF molecule, all hydrogen exhibit positive charge. Between these forces, some attractions exist. Those attractions are called what? Dipole forces. In this case, in this example, these forces are also called hydrogen bond. Here, these forces are also called hydrogen bond in this example. Next, here the expression is attraction force is proportional to 1 by r cube in case of stationary molecules. Stationary means not moving. But in case of non-stationary molecules, attraction force is proportional to 1 by r power 6. Where r is what? Distance between two polar molecules. That means this is the distance. This is the expression regarding dipole forces. Next one, induced dipole forces. This is also called London forces. This is very important. Induced means create. Here the attraction forces present between two non-polar molecules. Not polar. Polar means what? Different atoms are present, that is polar. But a non-polar means same atoms are present, that is non-polar. Between that molecules also attraction forces are there. Those attraction forces are called induced dipole forces. If I discuss example, you get idea. See, suppose I take helium atom. In helium gas, so many helium atoms are present. This is one helium atom, this is one helium atom. This is the nucleus of this helium atom, this is the nucleus of this helium atom. Around nucleus shells are present. We know that in shells electrons are moving. When electron comes to this side, automatically this side electron is not there. You have to think like that. Then here some positive charge appears. Here negative charge appears because electron is present here. Similarly, in this case also, when electron comes this side, here negative charge appears, here positive charge appears. Then automatically between this positive charge and negative charge, attraction forces develop. Again, when electron comes this side, these attractions disappear. When electron comes this side, again attractions are formed. That means these are very weak attractions. These type of attractions are present between same type of atoms or same type of molecules. So such attractions are called what? Non-polar. Non-polar means it is not having charges, but forces are present between such molecules. Such attractions are called what? Induced dipole forces. Next, here one point is there. As the size of the atom increases, suppose if size is increases, then distance decreases, then attractions are more. Automatically melting point, boiling point also increases when size of the atom increases. In this case, expression is attraction forces is equal to 1 by r power 6. It's proportional to 1 by r power 6. So this is about induced dipole forces. I hope you understand this clearly. Next, last one is dipole forces. Dipole, that means the attraction force between polar and non-polar molecules. Dipole, induced dipole. Attraction force between polar molecule and non-polar molecule, that is called dipole, induced dipole. But in this case, attraction force is proportional to 1 by r square. Next, now we discussed 4 types of forces. Among all these cases, in which case attraction forces will be more? First case, that is ion dipole forces, because their forces are present between ion and dipole, so those forces are somehow strong compared to other cases. Next case is dipole. Next one, this one, that is dipole induced dipole. This is London forces, that is nothing but induced dipole forces. In these cases, forces are very weak. I told you already, because when electrons revolves continuously, when electrons comes one side, then only forces appears. Again, forces disappears. So these forces are somehow weak compared to all other forces. This is all about intermolecular forces. This is introduction of states of matter. In next video we will discuss about gas laws. Thank you.